How about you, Sara?
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and scholars joining us from all over the world. Welcome to ŠumArt Talks, our dynamic international platform dedicated to fostering dialogue, creativity, and cultural exchange within the academic and artistic communities. It is a privilege to host you today for a session that promises to be both enlightening and intellectually stimulating. At ŠumArt Talks, we believe in the transformative power of scholarly conversation to unveil the diverse narratives and perspectives that shape our global cultural and artistic landscape. Our mission is to facilitate closer engagement with the minds of leading artists, cultural icons, and intellectuals, offering profound insights into their personal journeys, creative processes, and the conceptual frameworks that underpin their work. Today, we are honored to explore the world of Dr. Mateja Ristić, a distinguished polymedia artist, lecturer, and producer. Dr. Ristić's academic and artistic journey is truly remarkable. He earned his PhD in Polymedia Art from the University of Art in Belgrade under the joint supervision of University College Cork, Ireland, and Birmingham City University, United Kingdom. His research reflects deeper engagement with the intersections of multiple media forms, exploring how they emerged into a new modes of artistic expression. Before his doctoral studies, Dr. Ristić led his foundation for his artistic practice at the Academy of Art, University of Novi Sad, specializing in fine art and printmaking arts. This background provided him with the technical and conceptual skills necessary to innovate with the emerging field of polymedia art. Dr. Ristić's vast and varied artistic portfolio spanning theater direction, video production, visual arts, and multimedia performances. His works defies conventional boundaries, synthesizing narrative, visual, and auditory elements into immersive experiences. As an educator, Dr. Ristić has significantly contributed to the academic community, teaching at numerous international institutions, faculties, and developing courses that emphasize interdisciplinary approach and the integration of theory and practice. Beyond academia, Dr. Ristić is a key figure at the art collective scene, founding Encyclo, an art group active for over 17 years, and co-founding an Encyclomedia Production, a multimedia agency known for its innovative and experimental art projects. His work has been showcased in more than 20 solo exhibitions and over 14 group projects across Europe and Asia, reflecting his commitment to pushing the boundaries of polymedia art. We are welcoming Dr. Mateja. We are also privileged to have with us Sara Werkee, a distinguished professional with over a decade of experience in curating and managing exhibition and cultural initiatives, having made significant contribution within both public and private sectors. A profound dedication marks her career to the advancement of the arts achieved through a combination of strategic management, innovative programming, and a deeper understanding of cultural landscape. Through her career, Werkee has been instrumental of the conception, planning, and execution of a wide range of projects, from major exhibition to cross-cultural collaboration that have had a lasting impact on the global art community. Her skill is in fostering and maintaining relationships with key stakeholders across the arts and cultural sectors has complemented her ability to manage. This relationship has been pivotal in expanding the reach of the initiatives she oversees, ensuring that they resonate on both a local and international scale. On her role as a council member of the Innisfil Arts, Culture and Heritage Council in Ontario, Canada, she has been actively involved in the development and implementation of cultural strategies that aims to enhance and sustain the local arts and heritage sector. A collaborative approach has characterized her work on the council, working closely with other members and community stakeholders to create a vibrant cultural environment that supports artists, preserve heritage, and engage the public. Moreover, Werkee serves as a public program director and liaison of the Scientific and Research Association ŠumArt, an organization based in the Republic of Serbia. ŠumArt, with the backing of the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Serbia and the European Union, is dedicated to advancing the art through research, education, and international collaboration. In this role, Werkee has been at the forefront of pioneering initiatives that not only promote artistic expression, but also bridge cultural and geographical divides. Her work involves coordinating complex projects that require understanding of both local and global cultural dynamic, ensuring that the programs she leads are both innovative and impactful. Werkee's career is a statement to her deep-seated commitment to the arts and her ability to create opportunities that foster meaningful dialogue and collaborations across diverse cultural contexts. Her contributions have not only enriched the communities she directly engaged, but have also played a significant role in shaping the broader discourse of the role art in society. Sara will lead today's conversation with distinguished Dr. Mateja Ristić, guiding us through his remarkable journey and the profound ideas that drives his work. This dialogue promises to offer a unique glimpse into the mind of a polymedia pioneer and explore the intersections of art, culture, and academia. Thank you for joining us today. We are looking forward to the insights and inspiration that will undoubtedly emerge from this engaging discussion. So let's begin this enriching journey together. Sara, it's your stage.
Hi. First of all, thank you so much for the introduction. We appreciate it. But I just have things to say. Today, I have the distinct honor of recognizing someone whose contributions to art and culture have left an indelible mark on all of us. Helena, your work has been nothing short of extraordinary. You've gone above and beyond in your commitment to fostering connections, bringing together artists, thinkers, and creators from all corners of the globe. It's not just about the events that you've organized or the projects you've overseen, although they are, of course, remarkable. It's about the spirit in which you've done it all, with tireless dedication, boundless energy, and unwavering belief in the power of art and transcend boundaries. You've created spaces where diverse voices can come together, share their stories, and find common ground. This is no small feat in a world that often feels increasingly fragmented. Your vision for more connected, culturally rich world has inspired so many, including myself. You've shown us that art is more than just a form of expression. It's a mean of building bridges between people, of fostering understanding and celebrating our shared humanity. Helena, we are all deeply grateful for your efforts. You've touched countless lives through your work, and your legacy will continue to inspire future generations of artists and cultural leaders. Thank you for everything you have done and for all that you continue to do. Your passion and commitment make a world of difference. We sincerely appreciate it, Helena.
Wow. Thank you, Sara. Thank you so much.
So, Mateja.
I absolutely agree with Sara, everything that she said, 100%.
So you have nothing to add?
I mean, yes, but I must admit I was not that prepared as two of you, you know. So, but again, I'm honored to be with you guys. And when I start having communication with Helena, it's how to say, immediately I felt that that something very strong, important is there. So, you know, I'm really honored that she wants me to be in her, how to say, not the group, but initiative to change something, and that energy that is coming from her is something that it's not easy to find. So thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And Sara, yeah. And I met you, Sara, through her, so it's like beautiful.
And I met you too, Mateja. What a beautiful coincidence. So
beautiful, yeah.
I really appreciate you accepting to have this talk about your artistic journey. You are an established artist, and you've actually have or you know, you've participated in a lot of solo exhibitions and group exhibitions that we would like to dive in deeply today to share, you know, because again, nowadays we have a lot of emerging artists, not to say that, but it's good to look back at an established artist of their journey, of what they've been through, because I know a lot of emerging artists that are somehow stuck in life where they don't know what to exactly, you know, there's an imbalance. So, you know, to look back at these videos and to sort of like a motivational, or, you know, how your journey was like, to speak deeply and who inspired you and what aspired you, and, you know, to talk about it. And yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was through my life as an artist, through my life as a person, I was stuck so many times. And I think that like globally we have all the same problems in that sense. Being an artist, I know that today in 21st century, especially, being an artist is some prestige thing, and so many people wants to be an artist. But to be an artist is it's a tough work, you know. It's a tough life in that sense. I'm not saying that it's not beautiful. It's the most beautiful work in the world, but again, it's very, very tough because it's very personal. For the beginning, it's super personal, and it's you're sharing your emotions, you're sharing some deepest thoughts and emotions with everyone. Secondly, it's not a fair game, yeah. So it's not always about the quality. The game is changing in that sense. So to be confused and to be stuck is absolutely normal in art world, in life in one artist. Yeah. So if I need to tell someone how I'm keep doing the same thing that I'm like doing last 20 years and more, it's that it's very actually it's going through ages, you know. Like now I'm 43, I'm getting into like maybe the full power of me, as with experience, knowledge, life energy and everything, and I'm thinking now a little bit different in that sense. And you know, when you're a young artist, you're like dreaming of some success, do something really seriously, to change something. You believe in changes. You were learning the history of art and learning other artists, and they will like influence, you know, us, contemporary society all the time. And you were always maybe hiding yourself something, but thinking like that you can do something serious and that someone will recognize that. Yeah. But you know, that is the first trap to be an artist, is that it's like, don't try, like if I talk to myself as a young artist, I will say to myself, like, try not to chase these kind of things, but you're young and you need that energy for that. Now in my experience, you know, like I'm creating art because it's a part of my life, it's a part of my breathing process. Not that I'm a typical artist who is like, oh, art is everything for me. Art is my expression in my life in that sense, but I have a different other part of my life that is not art. Yeah, it's reality. but in that sense, I'm not chasing anything anymore, in the sense of like, oh, if I don't succeeded in something, everything will crash, you know? So it is a powerful way of thinking, because you can be free of that chains and cage of success, of that narrative of that everyone needs to be successful to be recognizable and everything, you know, but art is something much deeper than that. So I think that like in couple of years, last couple of years, finally I took some bricks for my back and like, okay, Mateja, you don't need to do anything special. You just create the things that you are thinking about, you're feeling about them, and do your best. And we will see, someone will recognize that, someone will find something in that, and they will like it or not. But because I'm in the same time, I have that academic, my journey in education of art and everything. So everything goes together, you know, like I'm educating the young generation of artists, and I'm trying to give them my experience in that sense. But again, I can see the young people, they need to think like that they can change something. That is that energy. Yeah?
That's right.
So I believe that art can change the world and is changing the world, but in the same time, as an artist, we need to try not to be obsessed with that, because that can influence our way of creating and our mental way of, you know, like it can make us so many pain, and the life is already painful enough.
Yes.
So, you know, like I'm trying to cool down, but doesn't mean that I'm not cooling down in creation. I'm cooling down of what to expect. So that doesn't mean that I surrender. No, I'm not. You see, I'm here. I'm talking with you guys. I'm trying to give my best in that way, but not in the way of that art will bring something personal to me, like personal success of like, I'm famous, I have a lot of money, I'm selling the paintings, I'm successful in society, who just want to recognize success. And I think that is my main way of thinking now when I think about art. When I think about my journey as an artist, as a young artist and everything, I mean, I can talk about that. Is that okay? How I started and what was my point of view from the beginning on university. You know, like on the third year of University of Art, I start to express myself in abstract art paintings. Why? Because that was the best way for me to express my feelings. And again, I was very young and I didn't know how to verbalize my thoughts, and I didn't know how to understand my feelings. So in that way, the abstract art was like, oh, the best form for me to express something that I still don't understand, but I feel it. So that is the reason I was always against to put the name of the painting, you know, title to, because doesn't need, you know, like everybody's asking me what it means. It means nothing. It's just feeling. It's just feeling. I was like pushing that. And for me, that was okay. Now, when I look back, for me, that was a okay way of seeing things. But after that, I start working in education, and I start working in some theater plays as a directors, and I start directing theaters and performances and everything. And I started learning about concepts, about how to verbalize ideas, how to verbalize thoughts, and to transfer that in artistic expression. So in that sense, I was like, wow, this is so powerful tool that like I cannot just leave my expression to just feelings. I need to have the concept to hold that feelings. And then I understood it, that actually the concept is the way when I was growing up and getting mature and understanding and educating myself to understand that actually my concept of everything that I'm doing now is the understanding of my emotions. So still, when I make exhibition, and we will talk about some exhibitions a little bit later, but again, I'm not expecting anyone to see fully and understand the concept, what I'm doing there. Still, I want them first to feel the energy, emotion, and they can create their own story and concept and everything. But I'm not saying that the concept is not important. Actually, it's very important for me. Why? Because now finally I can understand how I feel and the concept of idea that I have. And now when I'm expressing my emotions through paintings or something else, it's absolutely clear for me what I'm doing. And I think that the people who are like coming and look to my art, they can understand and feel more because I understand as an artist. Yeah. So my journey as an artist was to understand first myself, to understand why I feel like that. What is that feelings that I feel, you know, like, and then ideas that I have, how to connect everything together. And then in that sense, there is a influence of society that we are living in. So my feelings is not always just my feelings, is their influence of everything that is around us. So then I need to understand what is going on around me to understand myself. So everything that I done from my university time as a student of art until now, actually, it's the similar concept that I'm going through: visual arts, video production, video arts, performances, theaters. It's always the same note that you can feel in my creation. It's actually my main thing is that artists, we should not give the answers because we don't know the answer. We're not the smartest people in the world. We cannot say how to live, how to do, but our goal is to ask the right questions. Yeah. So I'm trying to ask the right question to myself to understand why I feel like that, how to survive, and how to understand the world that we are living in. So my art is like that. I'm trying to pick you to put some, I don't know, some little bit seed in your head to try to think about and to get to your own answers. So I'm not like going through my concepts and big, strong concepts and ideas in art, telling the answers and the way how it should be. I'm very careful about these kind of things. And I think I'm trying, if someone asks himself some questions through my art, I can say, wow, that is a success. Making exhibition in big gallery, getting some awards or talking about that, yeah, of course, I like that. It's ego, everybody likes that, to be honest. How many people really understand and go deep in that? Probably small percent. And that small percent is actually success for me. So I'm teaching myself to put my ego down, to put my expectations down, and to try to get that small percent of people who really wants to go deep in art and to understand what's going on there, more than that, how to say, big celebration or part of that. We like everyone to make events, to be everything beautiful, titles, and ego is a fantastic thing. I like it, but I need to control it. So I'm trying to be simple in that way. Yeah, everything is too complicated. I'm too complicated, but I'm trying to make it simple. So my art can be very complicated in the way because it's abstract art, and it's problematic because it's not easy to feel something. It's not easy. We think that like, oh, everybody feels. No, it's not. You need to train yourself to really feel and understand something. So in that sense, it is complicated, but I'm trying to put everything, to simplify myself in the way to understand what's going on and to share that with people.
So do you believe in conceptual art, in a conceptual curated exhibition? For instance, like you said that you have like each artwork that you've painted basically you don't have an answer when people ask you like what's the artwork for and what's the concept of the artwork. But do you believe in a curated conceptual exhibition?
Absolutely. And I must say, I have the answer if someone asks me.
Yeah.
I don't like to tell the answer. If someone wants to know, I can share, because I know that I go through, and I'm in every gallery wants to have the concept written somewhere, you know, like, because they are scared that people will come to exhibition and they will not understand anything. And today people wants to understand everything, you know, like, and they're actually killing some part of art because they want to understand everything. It's not about understanding everything, you know. We are going feeling, and we are going to that intellectual part of art that it's actually killing that aesthetic emotional part. When you ask me what I'm thinking about conceptual art, actually I think the conceptual art is like crucial part of modern art. But today I'm not sure how many people and artists, not artists, especially institutions, understand what is a concept. Because like I said, I think that institutions are using the concept and pushing the concept because they want to explain everything to their audience, because there is a potential buyer there. And, you know, it's a business mind. It's not about real conceptual expression. So in that sense, I absolutely approve concepts and conceptual exhibitions and everything, but in the way that, how to say, I will like sound super simple, in the way that should be, not in the way that concept, idea, and text, and that narrative and storytelling, it's so stronger that everything that we are seeing on exhibition, because with that we are using the storytelling and narrative as a bait for people to come. And you know what, I'm you know, I live in Shanghai, and Shanghai is an international city, and most the galleries from all over the world having their galleries there. And the problem is that the audience that coming to exhibitions, they are afraid to say what they're thinking, because they don't want to be stupid. Yeah, because that is a narrative in the world. If you say something that you don't understand, oh, they will cross you, you know, cancel you in that way in social. So we are they behind that conceptual art, they are like hiding with pretty empty concepts, pretty empty expressions in the way they are selling the art. I'm not saying that 100% is like that, but that is the major way of thinking in contemporary art now. So I have a pretty like, how to say, tough way of thinking about that. If you want to do a conceptual exhibition, it needs to be strong in every field, in concept and is an aesthetic, and in all that. You cannot just be, oh, this is so smart, but this part, never mind. But because nobody can say I don't like it, because they will be like, oh, how this is amazing, how can you like it, you know? So I think that people are playing with the conceptual way too shallow.
Because again, like I said,
very serious. Yeah, sorry.
No problem. So what I was talking about, because there are like the institute that I was working with, so basically, you know, a research. I believe in a researched, because for instance, there are a lot of institutes from all around the world that don't particularly have, like, I do understand in terms of business what you're talking about, but there's also in promoting culture and art to build bridges between one country. It's a cross-cultural connection again. So you know, there are some institutes that would, you know, organize an exhibition with you know, a concept. It's a research conceptual curated exhibition. A curator, for instance, let's say Helena. Yelena curated an exhibition. It's a research exhibition. So she has to go through her list, or, post a note or share on social media that, for an open call artist, and where, she would go through each artworks to see what matches the concept that she've written. It's just a way of a storytelling. A curator, like an artist, he's an artist and has a story. So a curator is a curator that has a story and would like to bring this story to a visual in an artistic way. So I mean, that's what do you think, Helena?
I think okay, Helena, please. I just want to say this is the serious way approaching that kind of expression. I'm not saying that I'm against it. I'm saying that I'm seeing that in very shallow forms, and it's very popular now. So in that sense, it's killing the real way of thinking when we talk about conceptual exhibition and curating and everything. So that part is actually very seriously making a damage to real research and real conceptual art and real, storytelling and everything. So I might just say to not understand me that I'm spitting on everything. No. I'm just very, very scared of this, very, become very popular way to everything is a concept, everything is but there is no real research, there is no real, curating, there is no real myth behind that, real serious why we're doing that. It's just, this is the way how it needs to be. I'm sorry,
No. I just want to ask one question. Sorry, Sarah, for interrupting you, because you asked me to join this conversation. Mateja has a point. We have hyper production of conceptual so-called exhibitions and so-called artists. And in terms of polymedia, it's very interesting that, as I see, Mateja, please, I would like to hear your thoughts about that. It reminds me of a revival of a Baroque way of thinking in a new form, in using new tools as multimedia, for example. Because as we know, in Baroque, for example, they are using all form of arts acceptable and which were in that particular time to create art above everything and to share some kind of message, which art always
sending some message,
sending the messages. But polymedia art engage almost all the aspects of media combinations. Am I correct in that?
Yes and no. It doesn't need to be all the art, but combining 2 or 3 different media, it's calling already polymedia expression.
Okay. We can use, for example, classical art and digital art, combining classical and digital art, or
exactly, or different type of media that affect our senses. So you can use visual and sound, combining. So movies are polymedia art. Theater is a polymedia art. The highest form of polymedia art is actually opera.
Yes. And that is why I'm mentioning Baroque, because Baroque's opera are the high level.
Exactly, and they are pushing that Wagner, and they are pushing that with total art, Gesamtkunstwerk. When Wagner is starting to put to every media in that multimedia form to be in the same level of importance. Before that, opera was only music, was everything, drama, storytelling, acting, costumes, set design was okay, but that was not important. Music was important.
That's right.
With Wagner starts that everything is important, that every aspect of that media line, art media line needs to be in the same level as the music. So that was a polymedia that, yeah, if you're combining other elements of media, you need to treat them on the same way, not just like, oh, I'm good in this, but I will use this as effect. That is yeah. Sorry, Helena.
No. One more question. It's could you tell us something more about this group that you founded 17 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
The art group.
Sure.
And would you like to share anything also online? I mean, would you like us to share any screen or if a website or so? We could do that.
Maybe not now because we have the old website and it's not updated and it's very old. So we can I don't know, share some another time or something. But I can tell you if I'm really proud of something in my artistic life, that will be that group. Yeah. So when I was the last year of university of art in Novi Sad, I realized that I'm finishing. That's it. What I'm gonna do after that? I was really scared, and I understood that if I'm alone, I will disappear. My struggle will be so tough that and I had friends from many different art universities in Serbia. So I was thinking, why, like, let's make a group, let's make something together, because if I have them behind my back, I will be more stronger, and I can believe more in myself with them because they believe in me. So we made in some countryside, we made a art camp for 2 months. Like 15 people came from all the different parts of Serbia and universities. And we made a group called Encyclo. Encyclo, my father gave that name because that means circle. Encyclopedia means circle knowledge. And we use that Encyclo because we close that circle in the way, because we use not just painters, not just visual artists. We pick the artists from all the other art expressions. We have musicians, we have digital artists, we have calligraphers, we have designers, we have cinematographers, we have artistic producers. So we put all that together, and we will like a small group of young people full of enthusiasm and believing that we can change something. But actually, we didn't change anything a lot, but we grew up as a pretty serious individual artists. And we become more than just a group of artists. We become friends, even families. So that group means a lot to me, more than that we change something in the art world, than that we are still can cooperate together. And when you put like 10 strong individuals with big egos, with big, it's not easy to combine that and to be as a one form. So we succeeded in that. All the group, all the members of the group are still active professional artists all over the world, and they are pretty strong in that. And we grow together. I cannot say that my art will be on this level, whatever level is that, but on this level without them. Yeah. Because they were my judges, my supporters, my everything. And we all do that for each other. So the group actually was made to save ourselves, to grow up together, and we succeeded in that. Yeah. So next year is 20 years of the group. So it's a pretty, we were like 20 years older. So it's interesting. So we want to make some events, we want to make some book, like a document for us, not to make anything big of that. But yes, that's a very impressive thing for myself personally.
And I have a question. Can an artist be a full-time artist? now at this moment, at this century that we're living? Can an artist survive being a full-time artist? And how important is the gallery? How important are gallery, like their existence? Does it play a great impact on an artist's journey?
Absolutely. That's the ultimate question. We all want to be a full-time artist. There is a full-time artist in this world, and there is many ways and tracks how to do that. Yeah. But it's not easy for me. In my case, the reason why I started to work in education, because that was not the way to survive. My journey to be an artist, and still I live from working on a university as a professor, is putting me food on my table and giving me money to create art. So for me, I'm not living from art, and I cannot be a full-time artist. But again, believe it or not, I'm still believe in one moment in my life, maybe it's gonna happen. And that is maybe that is that utopic way of thinking. Like I said, I'm trying to put everything down and not to push myself in that way, but I would love to just to live from my art. But it's very, 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 very tough and very complicated. And the thing that it hurts the most, it's because it's not always about the quality of your art. It's not about the quality of the artist. It's about knowing the right people, making a brand of yourself, going in the circles that are very close, trying to break to that circle to go in, actually to someone allow you to go in. So I think that there is a pretty decent number of artists who live just from art. Yes, but I think that some of them are super qualitative and they all deserve it. Some of them are just having the good connections and knowing the right people, or having the luck being in the perfect time and the perfect place. So for like young artists, and for like not just young artists, old artists who are trying to do that all their life, it's not easy. Because you ask me, what about institutions like galleries, museums, and everything? Pretty much, I don't think that globally they're not helping the artists. Of course, there is galleries who are like top professional, and they are like trying to push up the creativity and quality in art. But unfortunately, there is a million galleries today, because again, like we said in the beginning, it's a very prestige to be in artistic world. So many people want to have galleries and think that they will be something special. Having a gallery is a very expensive business. So in the beginning, maybe you believe that you can do and make a quality, but very fast you understand that the game is very tough. So you are starting to making a big compromise and like selling the space, not selling that, what is the word in English? Renting the space for artists. So like now, in this moment, I have like maybe 3 or 4 requests on Instagram from the galleries in London, Berlin, Madrid, Shanghai, calling me for exhibition, but I need to pay for the space. That's not the way how it should go, because they don't care about the quality of my art. They just want to rent the space and make a business. So in that sense, who can survive that? People who has background money, who can, and the quality is going down, business is going up. So something is, and you as an artist who believe in working and educating yourself in that space, you're pretty lost, because like if I have 3,000 euros to pay for exhibition, so that means I have money to survive and to work as an artist. So there is a million artists who are like super quality artists who doesn't have money to pay and to make exhibition in that sense. So they're struggling just to make exhibition because there is a reference in their CV, you know, and portfolio, but actually they cannot sell anything, or they can sell one painting a year or like in 5 months, and that's not enough to live from art. So everything is, how to say, everything is in the mess. Everything is in the mess in that sense. But again, if you are long in this business and if you believe in everything that you're doing and you're not making that kind of compromises, I believe that there is a chance for that. But it's not easy. It's super complicated, you know, so it's very tough. And you know what? My response, and I'm talking with my group and my colleagues and everything, because they are receiving the same messages on Instagram, calling them for exhibitions for Madrid. You know, when you receive the message from Madrid gallery and you go and see the gallery looks amazing, and then on the end of conversation, it's like you need to pay 3,000 euros fee to be part of that. You know, like it's killing your spirit. You know, like you're like, come on. Who has 3,000 euros to go into, and plus you need to transport and you need to do this, you need to do that, you know, so it's killing it. It's like, I'm talking to my colleagues, you know what will be good? When all the artists in the world will say, okay, we will not exhibit for 1 year. What this kind of institution will do, they live from us, but again, they're looking at us as how to say, not to use some bad word, but using us as a business. They're controlling us in that sense. So maybe this conversation is from me coming that I'm pretty negative. I'm not. I'm trying to be realistic. I'm long enough in this business just to see. I'm not giving up. I'm pushing my things, but in the same time, I'm really seeing what's going on, and that's reality. There is 1 million young artists who is finishing universities right now. Think this is the way.
No. So do you believe in the term of art is luxury? It's not necessity. Do you believe in this term?
Unfortunately, it's not about if I believe or not, but unfortunately, I think that it's pushing to go in that way. That is a luxury, you know, and it should be. It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be luxury.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It needs to be everywhere. Yeah.
Exactly. Like for instance, if I like an artwork, like, you know, because nowadays, again, the price of the artworks, it goes from range, let's say, to $3,000. Like, but why? Like, you know, you get my point. Like, I'm a middle class. I like this artwork. I want to buy it. Why can't, you know? So I just feel art, you know, this is the thing that, you know, we're trying very hard in ŠumArt as well, is that to make art for everyone, accessible for everyone. You don't have to be in a certain level for you to be able to collect an artwork. You know, art should be for everyone. That's, you know, it should be for everyone. You know, art, and it should.
I cannot agree more, because you know who is buying art, that expensive art? People who doesn't understand that. People who are buying that because in that circle of millionaires, billionaires, you should have that. That is a prestige thing.
As a good.
But again, as a good. And you know what? In
Yeah.
China now, in galleries, I cannot set my prices.
Why?
Gallery is doing that. Gallery is doing that.
And how many?
So I cannot. If I want to sell, like, okay, I want to sell this painting for 100 euros. I say no. It needs to be 5,000 euros because they want to earn money on that. You know, like, and me as a professional artist, I had like 8-9 exhibitions in China, and I'm in their system of exhibiting and everything. So if someone comes to my studio and wants to buy a painting, I mean, I'm talking openly now. I mean, I can sell for small amount of money. I don't care, but I need to ask the person, to tell the person, please, you cannot tell anyone. Because if the gallery hears that, collectors, agents, I will be in the problem. So you see, I am in the cage of my own work and I'm selling my own stuff, but I needs to do that by their rules. So you see, they are making the rules not to art to be for everyone. How many people will say like, I would like to have your painting, but it's too expensive, and I'm like,
okay. No, I heard from one very distinguished artist from Serbia. She told me that one gallery, for example, in Munich, asked 70%, which is
that's so rude.
Which is completely rude to ask from an artist. Yes, but she has to, and I asked her why, because there is no way how to exhibit otherwise in Germany, and that is kind of mobbing. Let's say the right word. It's a mobbing.
Exactly.
It's a mobbing.
So understand now when I said, will all artists say for 1 year we will not exhibit, we will change the game. Because they are going to, they are pushing us. They are stepping all over our bodies. They are looking at us. You want or you don't want. If you don't want, there is always someone who wants. That kind of capitalistic way of thinking. There is always, we're all like changeable.
We're changeable. Yeah. But it's very important for us to understand that. I think that is something that is pushed from the late 18th and now during the first decades of 21st century, because art is looking as a commodity, as an investment, which is not good for artists.
Yeah, exactly, as an investment.
Because there is no structural background for supporting artists as a profession, firstly. Secondly, I think that let's say correctly, semi-professional people are running the business, which I'm standing behind my sentence completely.
It's my point about million galleries.
Exactly, because in pursuing to earn the money and to be, how to say, different, contemporary, avant-garde, which 99% of galleries are not. They are putting on a plate something which is not art. We have it, Sarah. You know what I'm talking about.
And the danger is because the people who are going to the galleries, they think, oh, this is institution. If they say this is art, so they're educating a people what art is not, but like they're changing the game of, they're changing the tone, and I don't know, it's a very scary thing actually, like people now think that art is everything that is in the gallery. But now you can pay the gallery to make an exhibition, so you don't need to be an artist. You can do some circles, whatever. I'm not saying that circles cannot be an artist form. You can, but like I'm just simplifying the term of that. So I saw so many. I cannot call that exhibitions, but there are exhibitions that are in galleries who are looking good, and people are going there because why are you going to gallery? To see the art. They want to educate themselves. So that is the thing where it's very important. Yeah.
There is one very crucial thing why this happens, because we have a lack of structural art critics. We don't have art critics. With art historians as a profession, not curator. Curator can be not in Serbia, not in former Yugoslavia or the Balkan. For art curator can be person who finished some faculties and passed some kind of state exam to be curator. It's completely different than the rest of the world. In the Western societies, curator can be everybody, regardless education or background. That is why we have that very, very dangerous state within art, contemporary art, that the professionals are not visible in terms that we don't have structural art critics. We have people who are not art historians or cultural workers with a good background who are managing galleries. And they're not, majority of galleries do not provide a good art historian. I'm not talking about a curator. Curator can be everybody, because curating in terms of Harald Siemens terms on Documenta 5 can be whoever, whatever. And he set a form of curating that we are now seeing as a profession, but structurally it has to be within the art history, because art historians understand to put somebody in the context in a concept.
Exactly, context of time, situation, and everything.
Yeah, that is the main thing. And also, my other question would be, sorry, Mateja, for interrupting.
Yeah, no,
in
please.
terms of that, we are talking right now. What is your tell me your thoughts about contemporary art, not in terms of profession or that we are talking right now, but as a theory. Do we have some movements, avant-garde movements, or movements in general that we can say it is generally a new wave of understanding and creating, not producing, creating art in 21st century, which can move boundaries from where are we now? As Danto said, we are now living in post-historical times. We don't have anything as a background that can be structural basis for new art. As we know, postmodern times are finished.
Exactly. And I mean, it's a very good question, but in the same time, it's a very complicated question, because we need to understand the context of everything that is happening in 21st century, and that, like, we had like industrialization on the end of 19 and the beginning of 20th century. Now in 21st century, we have the digitalization that is massive and very fast. We cannot track what's going on, and as a human race, it's faster than us in that sense. So in all that, we have like you mentioned, we have hyper production of everything, not just art, everything. And still, I'm not saying to be positive, to go back and to, because I sound pretty negative about everything. I must say this: the quality is still there, but the problem is, because with digitalization and sharing information with social media and everything, we gave the space, not we, but it's giving this, the space is giving to everyone to expose themselves in any way, with no how to say, control of what is good, what is not. So you ask me, in contemporary art, what's going on? There is some like groups of wave of people who are thinking the same. Yeah, probably is there. It's super hard to find them, because it's everything else is in front of our eyes. So you need to dig so deep to find something that is really happening. So I know so many good artists in the world today, and I think they are like pushing the boundaries in some ways, but they're invisible. Because if they want to be visible, they need to spend a lot of money and energy to fight with branding and visibility with everyone else there. You know, like, for example, I will give the simple example: Instagram. Yeah, there is a zillion artists there, you know, and I'm guaranteeing that there is like a bunch of good artists there, but like it's very hard to find them. because it's too many rubbish everywhere. Everybody's doing and posting and posting and posting. To create art needs time. Today, everything is fast. To be visible, you need to be constantly showing yourself. To create art, you need time. So these two things are not matching, you know? So for some, if someone is doing some very fast thing that just, how to say, wants to give the people what they want, and he's producing that hyper production in like five artworks in a week, his reach in people's mind and in Instagram and social networks, it's going to be blown up because his algorithm is there. For me, that I'm painting and I can put in 2 months one painting, I'm not interested for algorithm to show me, to present me to other, to see someone who said, oh, this is good. So in theory, I think there is a lot of things that is happening in contemporary art, but it's very hard to see them. And again, I think that institution, like we said, they have their own problems. Like we talk about artists, I think that some galleries who had a really serious way of working, like an institution, they're struggling with a million other galleries in the same field of fighting, you know, like what's gonna happen with contemporary art in that sense. Like it said, that the million galleries who are selling their space, renting their space because of the business, they're educating the people and young generation of people and artists that this is art. And they're killing the serious platform of like what is art should be. And again, maybe I'm old and I'm not seeing that actually that is a new expression who will change, that will change everything. There is a possibility. I'm thinking of myself, listen, I was born in 20th century. I was educating myself in 21st century, learning all the art that was before me, like thousands of years. So I was not training in this way of seeing things. I was training modern, postmodern, you know, like to be open for that. But I'm confused what's going on now. But me as an artist, I cannot say that there is no art in contemporary art. Of course, there is. There is a big movement who will change something? I'm not seeing it. It doesn't mean that there is not, because it's not easy to see it. Maybe it's so deep underground that it's boiling somewhere there and in one moment will explode. Or everything that I'm thinking that is killing art, it's maybe the newest way of expression that will take some form and be something higher than this. So I don't know, Helena, to say openly, honestly, I don't know.
Some art theorists said that we are now on a crossroads for two ways in art theory and art practice, because there is very good and structural groups, such as your group, of very strong individuals who are working together, creating something without being so mainstream in terms to be, how to say in English, dedicated to be seen for any cause and to be popular for any cause. And without structural idea, we cannot overcome this. I see it as obstacles which were imposed from the beginning of 21st century, especially for artists and cultural workers that we know. And that is the business imposture of galleries and people who are thinking about art as a solo business and nothing more else. And that is why we organize this platform, and that is why are you working with young people, and that is why are you created this very important group. And it's very important for people to understand that art is not social media and can be used in very, very profound and good ways, but it's not
absolutely.
But it's not art. It's not what we see on social media is not art. Can be, but it's not a lot.
Absolutely. I have a question for both of you now. Okay.
Okay.
So we are talking about contemporary art, yes, and what's going on in contemporary art. When you look at my art, can you say that there is that is like contemporary art?
I said, Sarah, go you first.
Yeah. No, you go first, Elena. Let me hear.
Listen, when I start, let me say something as a background. When
Can we showcase his artwork if you don't mind, Helena, while talking about his artistic? Can we showcase?
I will show it just a second, and I have it, just a second.
Yeah.
Just a second. For example, to see one of my favorite, maybe for the color, but I don't know, let's this one, okay? And just a second to share it. Okay, can you see it?
No.
Now?
No, it's no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Okay.
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 One of the maybe this one as well. When I start this, it was a COVID, and I think that it is a crossroad for everything that we understand as uncontrolled pushing everything as art, and something has to be put on the world as a reset point, and we unfortunately it was like that. But my general idea is to see and talk with people who have the ability to be avant-garde, and you are the one of the people. Because when I saw your picture, I see not 1, 2, 3, but maybe 10 or 16 layers of understanding. I can read your art in several ways and transmit information and knowledge through it. And that is the true art. We have very, very few artists that can convey knowledge in that manner. Even though for ordinary people, they will see, okay, it's a very, very good red painter.
If we scroll up, if you don't mind scrolling up, going through his art.
One?
No, let's go over it all.
Okay. Or this black one.
No, let's go all over it, I mean.
Okay. This is a social emotional map, which is one of the best.
Whenever I go, you know, the reason that one of the reasons why I got really excited to host this talk with you, or rather to moderate this talk with you, Mateja, I've always admired modern art. In your art, I see contemporary and modern. I don't know how you did that, but it's you know, whenever I see, like, go through your artworks, it's mixed of both. I even told you about this, Helena, if you remember, when we were first going through your portfolio. There is mix, like, this is contemporary, but you know, at some artwork I just feel a mix of modern and contemporary. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful that, you know, you are I just like, because, you know, I've always admired modern art and contemporary artwork as well, but I'm more into modern. So I just feel like, you know, your artworks, it gives me both contemporary and modern. I don't know how you did that.
And this particularly is also influenced with the old school.
Modern.
Yeah, no, not modern, but old school.
This is having roots from pop art, yeah.
Yeah.
So from that kind of thank you for your lovely thoughts, and I appreciate it a lot. Of course, every artist likes to hear
the
something
medium
that...
as well. So sorry to interrupt you, and I also love how huge your artworks are, because nowadays, you know, they're just like a very mini, like 50 by 50 centimeter, but yours is just huge. It's an art, you know. I love it. I love huge artworks. I love
there is a reason why they're putting 50 by 50, because I have the problem the same. Every gallery saying, oh, the paintings are too big, we cannot sell it, we cannot sell it.
Oh.
And they are pushing us to paint smaller paintings. But again, to come back, to be honest, you know how I see my art? There's a like strong root in modern art. I'm abstract painter, yeah, and there is nothing new in the way how I treat the forms and everything. It's me. The only difference is just it's me. But I live in contemporary society. I am struggling with everything that is coming. So when I talk in the beginning that the concept, why is concept is important for me, is to understand how I feel today, now living in this society. And I don't know, Sarah, maybe that is the contemporary part that you can feel there. Because if we look aesthetic, if we look form, if we look how I treat the surface and everything, it's pure abstract, you know, like modern art.
Modern art.
Be abstract artist.
I told you about this, Helena. I told you this is, because I told her before, I was like, this is so modern. I mean, you know, but you know, because contemporary artworks nowadays, you know, there are a lot of going on, but I'm a very old school person. I'm more into a modern, and that's one of I even told Helena, I was like, Helena, I'm running the talk with Mateja, because you know it's just the artworks. Can we scroll up, Helena?
Oh, we can change. You can.
I will change it. No worries.
Yeah.
Just to see how to do it.
Just press on visual art. On visual art, you can press.
Just a second.
Click.
Just a second.
Wow.
Just a second. Which one will you?
So balance. You can put balance now.
Balance.
One by
okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Can we go one by one, Helena? Sorry.
Yeah. No. We will.
Oh, so for example, when I talk about what is the concept for me and everything, and of course I'm sharing that concept, and it's pretty simple in that way. But in that moment, you know, the thing that I understood it is that the hardest thing in life actually is to find the balance between everything, between relationship, between work, between love, nature, friends. Finding a balance is a really a complicated thing. But in the same thing, I was using the balance to put organic forms and pure geometry to find balance there in aesthetic way. For me, aesthetic is a very important in visual art. That is the part that is coming from modern art for me. Actually, that is the core of my art, aesthetic that I'm chasing. But in the same time, you know, like I was in these paintings, I was using the simplest symbol that I can find. In most of them, it was a chair. People, some of audience can see that, some of not. If you go on from the beginning, so why I choose chair? Because if you cut one leg, it's gonna fall down. Yeah. So it doesn't matter that there is a 3 more legs, strong ones, they cannot hold the weight.
A chair.
So a chair, and chair is everywhere. Yeah. So I put the chair in full abstract form, but why? Because I was using the symbolic of my way of struggling with the balance. So and that is, you know, like in the painting, the name of the paintings are balance 1, balance 2, balance 3, balance 4, balance 5, balance, you know,
like Kandinsky.
I'm not close.
I'm not joking, because this particular painting, which I'm constantly reminds me on Sheikha. Sarah doesn't know who Sheikha is, but Sheikha and and
Thank you for
Mediala.
that. That's a serious compliment. Thank you very much.
And several of your paintings remind me of Sheikha, believe me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? But I was never how to say, I know who is Sheikha and I know his work, but I was never like aesthetically go in that direction.
No.
But again, you know, people ask me, especially in China, everywhere, but because I live in China now 6 years, and that is the recently thing, like, oh, who is your influence of modern art artist and everything?
I
And you know
wanted to
what?
ask you that question. Glad you brought it up.
Cool. I can say no one and everyone.
Beautiful.
You know, like, so because I cannot say like, oh, this painter for me, it's like he's, because if he's the big influence on me, that what it means that I'm trying to get something that he's done, that, you know, that level or poetic or aesthetic or something. So that means I'm chasing something that it's not mine. But again, everything that you're seeing there, it's influence from like billion of artists and paintings that I watch and studying, and during my university, during PhD, during going to galleries, during, you know, so everything is inside me. Like Picasso said, you know, like good artists stealing, bad artists copying. Yeah. So
exactly.
You know, it's mixed of everything, but not intentional, but not because like, oh, I like this and I want to use this because I like this guy, how he, you know, like if you ask me for for a music composers, I will right away say, oh, Rachmaninoff is my best. Rachmaninoff is for me is the best composer. For me, that doesn't mean that he's the best. But in visual art, oh my God, that's for me super complicated question, because like there is so many of them, you know, like, and I like them, billions of them. But if we talk about serious influence as a concept of thinking in art, is coming from Russian avant-garde, yeah. Kalevich, Kandinsky.
Sheikha emerged from Russian avant-garde.
Exactly, but not their aesthetic.
50s in Belgrade, yeah.
For me, it's not their aesthetic. It's about how they
way
are,
of
like,
thinking.
Break everything, the composition, way of concept of thinking of modern art in that time, but not about aesthetic. So my aesthetic, it's probably mixed of, you know, like many more. If we go to another concept, exhibition, series of paintings, there is a paintings that some of my friends says like, oh, we can see Petar Lubarda.
Really? Just as
yes,
I know which one, like, but Sara will see which one.
A Portrait of the Ordinary. That is the first series of paintings that I done made in China. Yeah. An interesting thing is that before these paintings, I didn't paint for 11 years, really paint, because I was doing theater performances in video production. So I was expressing myself in different medias. So finally, I get back to my first love, is like visual arts.
What's the what's the media, like the upper one, the lines one? What did you use? The upper one. Can we go up, Helena? 1 second. One. Yeah, this one.
This one.
Yeah.
What means media one?
You ask me what? No, what are
what type of media I use?
Yeah, so, like the lines. What did you use?
The lines are like markers.
Wow.
Pure markers, and like I lost like 5 hours in my back doing these lines hand by hand, you know.
There's an artist called Sara Abdu that we've worked with. It's similar, but she used henna. You know henna?
No, what is that?
Okay, let me Google henna. You know all right,
it's like some ink.
No, it's a traditional ink where, you know, people in the Middle East and Africa using their hair and their hand.
Okay,
You
okay.
got it? Henna is a reddish dye prepared from the dried powdered. 1 second. It's a tree. Can you Google Helena? Henna, Henna. So he. It's Henna.
Just a second. I cannot open anything from my side here to put it on the share screen. It is impossible right now. I'm sorry. Maybe I don't know how.
But Sarah, you can send me, please.
I will
work definitely. Or something. I would like. Why is mixed media? Because I used some stones and some other materials as a texture that you can see in that black square. Yeah. So, you know, like, and then I used some acrylic paint and some, like we said, some black ink, and in that sense is mixed media. So because it's not like just pure acrylic and that's it. So I mix, and I always mixing these kind of things.
And as my favorite Russian avant-garde artist stated once, as he painted in the black square. You know which one?
Kazimir Malevich, yes.
Exactly.
And I also have a question. Why, like, for instance, it's just a question. So most of your artworks are basically reds included, red and black. Can you explain why?
Yes. And it's going to be the most disappointing explanation that you can expect. So for me, when I paint, you know, like my process of creating art is first I'm thinking about ideas and how I feel and try to understand and try to make in the form that I understand, and then in the form of the concept and everything. And then I start to paint. For some paintings, I have clear image in my head what I'm going to do. For some of them, I'm searching for a solution of that emotion. Yeah? But in the same time, when I paint, I'm really allowing myself to do in that moment whatever I feel. So red and black, probably that was my feeling at that time, why I was using them. There is no symbolic of like red means love, blood, this, that. So I don't have this kind of thing. I can use that as a promotion. And people loves to hear these kind of things, you know, but honestly, I cannot lie about these things. I'm using that in the moment, how I feel. Yeah. Right. So we can talk about it, maybe why I feel like that and why I that connect with red. That's something else. Yeah, we can discuss kind of things. But if I'm doing that on purpose and knowing like I'm using red because I know that's gonna send some message in that sense, no. The colors that you're seeing in my paintings are feelings of aesthetic in the moment while I'm creating it. Yeah. So it's not very interesting.
But it can be very interesting, Mateja, because our subconscious, when we create, when we let's use, for example,
I know what you're going to say, sorry, but I'm leaving that part to you guys. Okay. You understand? You know, me as an artist, I'm not going in that part. It's enough. So I'm really letting people to try to read that red wherever they want, whenever they want to read it and to connect with that, and I will agree. I will not say,
no. Let me say one thing, because I would like you to understand the level of importance of you and your art. I'm not. I don't want to be. I don't know, say in English, but never mind. I will go back to that point. When you as an artist, but with capital A, because we have artist and real artist. When you convey some concepto or concept or idea, as we understand from the Platonian way of understanding what is art generally is, and when you connect yourself with the higher realms of art, whatever it is, or ideas and whatever, sometimes art itself is using you as a medium of conveying some information. That is one of theories that is emerging nowadays. But it's very important to understand that our subconsciousness is very important when we work as creative people, precisely and true artists, because your job is not only to make something beautiful, which art, there is no necessity of art to be beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Majority of art is not beautiful.
I cannot call my art beautiful.
In terms of what we understand what beauty is.
Exactly. For me, it's pretty tough and hard, and there is no that kind of beauty that people, when I say beautiful,
like for example, Fragonard.
Like you ladies, you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Like, so
But the true meaning of art is not to be beautiful.
Absolutely not.
Or ugly as well. But the true meaning of art is to provoke us in terms to use our brain cells. I'm talking about audience. And when you display your art, for example, for the audience, it's very important how the audience receive the messages. And that is the beauty of real artists. It can be transcended in different ways.
Absolutely, and that is the part of abstraction that I like, actually.
Exactly.
Because I really love when people come to me and then tell me that, like, wow, man, I feel this, I see this, and and you can see the passion when they're talking about it. And in my head, it happens so many times that, like, oh, I was not thinking about that, but it's good that there is some truth in that painting, some truth in that emotions that, like, we don't need to think the same. That is the beauty of this world, that we can think differently.
But you cannot fake the emotion. Real artists cannot fake the emotion.
And that is the only thing that I'm trying to really do in art. To not to fake my really emotion. Not to fake my emotion is to try to understand my emotion. And that is the reason why where my concepts are coming up. When we talk about inspiration, Sara, you said in one moment, what is inspiring you to doing these kind of things? Actually, inspiration in that sense, like something happened and inspiring me, almost never happened to me. That is a long process of gathering my life experience of feelings, of situations, of everything that is happening around me, and then it's through time it's starting to getting a form that I can verbalize, and oh, that's it. For example, this concept calls a portrait of the ordinary, and it's, for me, it's pretty simple one in the same, but it's very complicated. Why I'm showing the portrait of the ordinary? Because ordinary is supposed to be something normal, standard, something that is, like not jumping in front of anything. Sometimes you cannot notice because it's ordinary, yeah? But today in 21st century, very, very, very serious and very extreme things becoming ordinary. We are, like, let's not go to politics, let's not go to religions, let's not talk about these kind of things, but there is everything there, and they're pushing us. So that was me as Mateja going through this world, and like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm feeling on my back, I'm feeling my mind, I'm feeling my emotions, mentally pressing everything that is happening, but I'm seeing on myself around me that people are getting that, like, oh yeah, that it's good. So everything that is unnormal is happening, it's becoming so normally ordinary fast. So that is the reason I call the concept a portrait of the ordinary.
Beautiful.
And actually, all the paintings are my emotion and the definition of that. And you know what? I can tell you the story for every painting, and I connect all of them. But it's not about that. Yeah, I can tell you. But in the same time, when you go to gallery, I'm not there. And that curator maybe understand, maybe not, that the audience is alone in front of these paintings. And in the end, that concept is important for me to understand, to show the truth in emotion. But in the same time, it's interesting for you guys if you want to hear. Yes. But when you get a painting and go to gallery or go to your friend and you see the painting on the wall, there is nothing of this story behind, just you in the painting. So that is my point of the concept. That concept is very important for the artist, much more than the audience. Of course, it's good for the audience, but artist needs to live and believe and understand that story, because that is the only way how he can show in his visual art. If we talk about visual art, and we are talking about visual art because the performance theater, films, movies, cinemas, mixed media, and everything is totally something different when we talk about concept and realization. Yeah? And you can see that I gave all the paintings, they have the title, and that was on purpose for me. I had the big problem with this painting.
Yeah, I want to ask you about it. Why did you call it the uterus?
This painting, when I exhibit this painting in the galleries, it calls the beginning.
It cost what, sorry?
The beginning. Like start, the beginning. On my website, I put the title that I gave it to this painting on the first time. I changed it because my wife said, Mateja, you can have problem with this. I understood it. But on my website, personal, no one is going there. So, you know, like I can put this kind of things. The first painting in this series is actually showing the process of creating the ordinary, and where all the creation is coming from the uterus. When we talk about living things. So that this is not about anything about genders, anything about I didn't think about this kind of things. And yes, some I got some critics about that, because how come I can use this kind of thing? I don't have a uterus, and why I'm using this kind of thing. So we don't need to go to that. The parts, my way was not offending anyone. It's just it was in the series of beginning, because when I talk about ordinary, actually I'm talking about people. Yeah, I'm not talking just about idea, but in the same time I'm talking about idea and the people, and that is the reason the next painting is a voyage. And that voyage is actually, you can see that I put that a white, how you call it? It's not a square, it's, how you call this? Oh my God.
Sara, what is this
The window?
form? It's not a window.
Okay, window, but like it's not square, it's, my brain is dying a little bit. How you call that? Not square, it's,
oh yeah, rectangle. No, not rectangle.
Rectangle, yeah? Is that rectangle?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So because
we are very fluid in English.
yeah. Especially me.
No, me as well.
So voyage means, in that sense, means that ordinary coming out. Okay. If you go down, it's a gate pass.
Wow.
And gate pass, and you can see the upper side, these little forms is actually your people for me. everyone wants to go to be part of something. It's a part of us, from like the tribes and everything. You need to be part of something. In 21st century, we want to be part of everything. So that is the reason why ordinary is spreading so fast. But between that gate pass, I use like Stanley Kubrick a lot, and that's a reference from him, gate pass, Stargate, and these kind of things. But all is happening on the end. They're becoming a texture, blending in some organic form that is presenting nothing. Look is the first look of ordinary to the and etc. 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 So I have the like pipeline how I created this series of paintings, and it's based on my way of thinking what's going on, but it's based on my feelings at the same time. Do you want to hear about this? This is interesting part, like please, media one.
Please.
So I have media one and media two, yeah. And media two is the same painting, just different colors.
Can I see? Can I see? Can you scroll down? Beautiful.
Yeah. And they are like totally conceptual paintings. They are like pretty much designed paintings. Yeah. When I was a kid, my father told me that when they received the first television at house, the old people called television the box for idiots. They called it like that, yeah? So media one is actually presenting the box of for idiots. And our boxes for idiots now are this.
Oh, yeah.
And our laptops and everything. So, and you know what? Everyone loves this painting. And another one, I sold another one because it's good for apartment. It's for a stylish interiors and everything. But these two paintings actually are the most critical paintings that I made. And like I said, no one can know that in that sense except me. You know what that means. So media one and media two in the concept of the portrait of the ordinary are negative concepts of that thing that is happening. The next one is red. This is a repetitor. I don't know how I put it in English. This is something that it's spreading like antennas and like dishes, satellite dishes, because we cannot live with kind of things.
Like the antenna, right?
Yeah, antenna, yeah.
Warrior.
Why warrior? Because you know who is going to war and who will kill each other for some ideologies and ideas they don't understand. Ordinary people.
So beautiful.
Yeah, so that is the warrior, and that is the and you can see the aesthetic, the aesthetic approach in this series is a little bit changing, and that was on purpose because like today ordinary cannot put in one form. It's so different things in one, and again we are calling ordinary, you know. And one person asked me, okay, what is the extraordinary then for you? Extraordinaries for me is actually going backwards, sitting on the bench and watching the sun and doing nothing in the peace. Today, that will be maybe extraordinary, because I don't know what is extraordinary in all this chaos. Everything is so extraordinary that became ordinary. So that, and this is kind of my way of thinking, you know, this is a heart, it's abstract, but again, you can recognize out of the box, telling you everything in that sense, you know, so.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No, really, thank you so much, Mateja, for this lovely talk and diving into deep into your artistic journey and your beautiful artworks. I've enjoyed.
I hope I was not too complicated in
no,
conversation.
It was so beautiful. It was organic. That's how I wanted this talk to go on. Scripted, as we agreed, Mateja and I. So I'm glad that this went by smoothly. And you know, we And thank you so much for letting us dive into your journey and to your artistic your arts as well, to dive in deeper into your arts, and we sincerely appreciate it. You know, thank you so much, Helena and Mateja. Appreciate it, especially Mateja, for, you know, for your time, and, you know, to dive into your art and to dive in again, like I've said previously, dive in into your artistic journey. It's an honor. It's an absolute honor.
Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for your time to talk with me about my way of thinking and my art. And like I said, I hope I was not too maybe direct or aggressive or negative. Right. This is just me. I'm the way how I talk. You know, my
No, you
energy
were
can be a
not.
little bit.
You were not.
So,
Absolutely.
and maybe someone will say something different about the things, and I need to say that, like I said, I'm not the guy who is giving you answers. This is just the way how I think and how I see the things. Like I said, maybe I'm absolutely wrong,
Let me
and
tell
there
you
is a
something,
possibility
Mateja.
in
Sorry.
everything. So, and that is a beauty in that, you know, like if I'm wrong.
But as well, like I always say, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I always say this, you know what I mean? Just because you base your opinion doesn't make you wrong or right. You know what I mean? So that's that. I'm a type of person that appreciate freedom of opinion, and that's necessary. You know, yeah. Thank you so much, Mateja. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yelena,
so this won't be our last collaboration. We're gonna do a lot of jobs with Mateja.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Working on a,
this is our beginning.
This is our beginning.
Yeah.